Hello, everybody. I see Pers is in the chat already. Hopefully you can hear me, and because I'm trying some new production stuff, because I'm a proper amateur. But today we have the one and only, the voice of Diabotical, Mr. GMT. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, Jake. It's been a long weekend, I won't lie, but I'm happy to be here on a Monday afternoon. How are you?
Oh, I didn't expect that. I'm very well, mate. Yeah, very well. I've got the window open, getting some fresh air. It's a nice afternoon. And we also have Phaze, who's, if I'm not mistaken, he looks like he's trying to hide his face a little bit.
Hi.
As if he's just shaved a bit too close. How you doing, Phaze?
Yeah, doing good. Feeling like I'm back to my natural form, and
You
that
got
is
younger.
the fetus form. Yep.
But what's going to happen is Steege and Phaze are going to kind of act as a kind of we're going to switch them out every so often, just when the schedules work, because it's quite difficult to schedule with Australian time zone. They're currently 10 hours ahead of us right now, so Phaze is jumping in this week and probably next week as well. He doesn't know that yet, but I've just announced that. So that's good. So he's here. And then our special guest this week is none other than SkRawZ. How are you doing, SkRawZ?
Well, I'm ready to talk to you, to my fellow nerds.
Hell yeah.
So I hope it will
He's
be
ready
great.
to unleash.
Yeah. No,
Unleash the girl power.
there's nothing cool about this show just yet. But we're getting there, I think. We're getting better every week. So, yeah, I start off pretty much a lot of these shows now. What I'm trying to do is just ask the guest straight off the bat, like, what do you think about Diabotical, the game? Obviously, you big Quake Champions player. What do we think about Diabotical?
I feel like I'm at home when I'm playing Diabotical because I originally come from Quake Live, and it's always been my favorite game of all time. So I'm really glad I can play something fresh that is similar to that and has the similar feeling. So I have really a lot of positive thoughts on Diabotical.
And it's only going to just keep getting better, I would presume. Obviously, we're getting a bloody patch every single day. And yeah, I think clearly there was some split opinions about Quake Champions. I wasn't really involved in that game, but coming into Quake as an outsider, Quake Live definitely stood out to me as the better game, or the more pure game. So it's nice to see Diabotical take a more simplistic approach. So I'm glad to hear that you're into that. That's probably the best, most glowing review I've heard about Diabotical, actually, because Ballin last week was a little bit more kind of political about it. But yeah, really good to hear.
Well, I'm pretty much a nerd, so I'm not getting too political about things. I just want to play a good game, right? So, and Diabotical delivers it to me, so I'm very glad about it.
And I have to ask, as I mentioned before, you are a medical professional, which is amazing to hear. You've just been accepted into a special program. Can you please explain what it is? Because I'm curious. I did try and Google it last night, actually. Me and GMT were talking about it, and I still didn't really understand what was going on. So do you want to tell us what that's about?
Yeah, well, I'm going to specialize in pathomorphology. It's a pretty underground specialization, if I can call it like that, because there are only like 2 spots for it per like a region in Poland, kinda. Wow. And it's pretty specific. You don't get to talk to patients. You don't work with them, like personally. And that's what I was going for, basically, because I'm a bit of an introvert and outsider, so I don't really feel that comfortable when I have to talk to patients every single day. And the work is basically at a lab, and what you do is describe all of the like probes, for example, if you go under surgery and they cut something out of you, like for example a tumor or something that can be suspicious in some way, they suspect it might be cancer, for example. There are many more cases, but the pathomorphologist gets it to his lab and is like looking under the microscope and tells the other doctors what is it exactly. So basically, if pathomorphologists wouldn't exist, you would not know if it's cancer, what kind of cancer, and what you should do about it. Without a pathomorphologist's opinion, they won't be able to adjust the treatment. So more or less, you're just working at a laboratory, being a nerd and looking down the microscopes.
You're really like
Yeah.
zeroing in on exactly what what it is that they need to know, and then you pass it on. That sounds pretty fucking cool, actually. Maybe we can send Phaze in and find out exactly what's wrong with
What the
him.
fuck is wrong with me?
So that's
No,
pretty
but
sick.
like ultimately, and I probably speak for everybody, is just like big thank you for doing that, because you know, having people who not only study but they devour themselves to study a specific area of you know, of medicine, or just medical area in general is great of help for everybody here.
Yeah, it's quite rare for someone as well to know exactly what they want to do in life, and
Yeah.
I'm very envious of that. So, yeah, nice one, pretty cool. GMT, Mr.
Oh.
Caster, we had a lot of shit to go through this weekend. You casted a hell of a lot of team games. Can you remember a single moment from the event or not? Let's talk about the team event that happened this weekend, because obviously
Yeah,
Phase you
let's.
played and GMT you watched. And
Well,
I
let's
did
start with
neither.
Phaze. Let's start with Phaze. How did you enjoy the EU teams test tournament series?
It was fucking great. It was a lot of fun. I was slightly worried getting into the tournament, since not many EU players stream their POVs when it comes to scrims. We were mainly losing pretty much to everybody when it comes to the top. We're losing to TZ, we're losing to Bus Driver's team, we're losing to Pulse's team. But you gotta look at it from the retrospective of the fact that a team performance in scrims versus team performance in tournament is extremely different. And if you do have the experience of team modes in tournaments, which I do, so does Apsos, Cookie not so much. So I was slightly worried for my team, but as soon as we got into the first game, we knew that we'll be in the top 3 at least. We had a very close game. We dropped to 2Z in the upper finals. We dropped down to lower bracket, and then we faced Pulse's team. We were winning convincingly at first. Then those guys came back, and unfortunately, we lost 2-3.
And the losers final.
In the losers final, correct. And you know, it wasn't meant to happen. They were the better team at that stage. I was surprised about, you know, Bus Driver's team getting the top 4. I suspected them to be in the top 3 with us. But you know, the underdogs, Pulse's team, did really well. It's very hard to play against them. Their aim is amazing. They don't have as much experience in team modes such as Extinction. And I don't think any other team that we played against has as much experience as we do. Nonetheless, really well played to everybody. And I'm hoping to see those teams carry on playing, because it's going to be a lot of rivalry. And yeah, I'm just happy for everybody.
D-Slap for me were absolutely sort of the stars of the show. Death kept bringing it up, and I think it was quite accurate. They were super gritty. Some teams 3-0 down, they kind of give up, but D-Slap was always trying to come back. I thought they were very consistent in that sense, and a very, very entertaining team to see. And, you know, it's new names. I mean, I'm sure they've been around for 5-6 years, because everyone has. But to me, they're new. You know, Pulse, Cook, who is now getting a lot of praise. I remember it was the last game of the grand finals on Marina. He hit 8k damage, which is more than Silent Sep or Latromi, all-time great team players. And also James was there, I think, maybe.
No, he was somewhere.
Was he?
Yeah. He was the anchor, and I don't mean that he, you know, defended a position. He was,
It's
yeah,
quite
that
heavy.
was it was all about D-Slap for me. I mean, Animal Squad being Bus Driver's team as well as Phaze's team. I think you were the favorite skying in alongside 2Z, but how much did you guys know that D-Slap were this good, or was it a shock for everyone?
No, we knew of the get-go when we started practicing them. Not many people may know or remember, D-Slap played with Danches at first.
Okay.
They played with Danches, that didn't work out. I think they played with Killalot, maybe. I'm not sure if that was Killalot, maybe another player. But they had 2 teammates that they kind of shuffled around depending on the you know, time and if they were available. And then as soon as they got Cook, the team got 5 times better. Like they skyrocketed. So when we played them a week before the finals, we knew those guys are going to be probably one of the toughest teams, if not more tougher than playing versus 2Z. Surprisingly enough, we actually won in Wipeout and Extinction versus them. But where the strengths lie versus us is MacGuffin. We as a team, and everybody knows it. It's been, it's been shown during the tournament. They're better than us, than MacGuffin, and we are a pretty bad team when it comes to that game mode. So we have to really improve upon that. But other than that, yeah, we definitely thought there would be, top 4, top 3 region. Again, as I said before, I thought Bus Driver's team would be in top 3. That didn't happen.
Well, Paul's team seemed to, they were practicing hard, right? I mean, pretty much Paul's was streaming every single day, like scrimming with he didn't reveal the comms either, right? I think he would stream with the comms turned off, so you could just watch the game. So
yeah,
the practice definitely paid off.
The cool thing about that team for me is that I feel like every member is almost as good as the other. Like Poles did the best, but both NSC and Cook had their games. Whereas I feel like the other top 4 teams, and I include yours in this phase, I include 2Z in this, I include Bus Driver's team, it feels like
Bus Driver's
kind
team.
of like incomplete players, or rather more polarized players. Like Bus Driver plays defense, like James plays defense very well, but then the real aggro plays coming from the likes of you. Whereas I was watching D-Slap and it felt like all of them could do anything, which is so helpful. And I think that's most helpful in MacGuffin, where having dedicated roles is pretty much impossible.
No, they're all around great players, and that's why they did super well in MacGuffin.
Yeah. SkRawZ, are you surprised to hear about some of the placements? Obviously, you're probably quite familiar with a lot of, particularly probably Bus Driver's team, the Animal Squad. Do you know if they were practicing quite hard for this event or anything like this?
Well, I was kind of surprised that Sirius didn't get higher because I was cheering for him and I knew that he's probably like one of the best players out there. I was kind of not too optimistic about his teammates. And I think, yeah, I'm saying that because I was supposed to be his teammate, but I didn't have enough time to scream and practice this month.
Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't aware that you were going to be on the team as well.
Our first team lineup was supposed to be Sirius, me, and SkRawZ.
Oh wow!
But SkRawZ is kind of like out of his mind usually.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, he's all over the place, and we didn't even get to play screens with him once.
Oh wow!
He was like very hard to reach, so we kind of gave up on this idea. And then I also didn't really play that much. So I kind of like told Sirius, I knew that at least 2 or 3 teams of 2 are asking him to be the 3rd player. And I just, just went along with it. And I told him like, yeah, well, go on. I will not play these qualifiers. I'll maybe find myself another team for next ones. So yeah, but if it's about like other teams, nothing really surprised me. Everyone was playing really great, and I knew that they're putting a lot of time into practice. I kind of hoped for Paul's team to be even higher because, he's like my friend. We play together quite often, like some pub wipeouts and so on. And I knew that he's practicing really hard, and I knew that his aim and his abilities are really, really strong. So, but yeah, they placed really, really high. So, I don't know. I was just like deep down at my heart, maybe I hoped they would be higher. But
yeah, I think with because Sirius was with Inns and Memphis. Yeah, or Penco as he's called in game. I wasn't aware. I hadn't seen them around. My cats are literally about to fight each other on the windowsill. Let's get them down. I think they kind of seemed like they maybe didn't. They weren't together too long. I might be wrong on that, but they didn't seem to be. No. I feel like with Paul's lineup, for example, was kind of nailed down, and obviously 2Z were always nailed in, except obviously James had to step in just for this one event. But I feel like James, just the way he plays and the way he is, he could probably step into any team and just. You wouldn't really notice it being worse, because he's quite a flexible guy, I would say.
A lot of people don't realize and don't give James enough credit as a player.
GMT.
His IGL role is even if he doesn't do the most damage output, which I'm always going to say, damage output is not everything.
Yeah.
If you have an IGL who can tell you what position you should be in, when you should be attacking, when you should be defending, what you should be doing, and he does it all the time, you feel his presence all over the map. And I think the only two people that I can kind of see being higher on that level is either Noctis or Wins. Those three guys
Yeah.
are extremely underrated, in my opinion, and they're probably one of the greatest team players of all time. And you will also have Silencip in there. But as individual players, everybody in this tournament has been amazing. And you could really see it.
I was very disappointed by SkRawZ though, just being such a name. I was really hoping to see that team go further. I thought it would as well. So I remember I was watching all the TDM VODs. Like I watched every Quake Live TDM was ever played professionally from like 2008 to 2010 in preparation to cast TDM. Now, that's not worked out.
About that.
That's not worked out, boys. But SkRawZ was so sick back in the day, so I wanted to see more, which was a little bit of a disappointment for me. What did you think of the level of play, though, Phaze? Are people good? Is the separation from the top 4 and the next 8, how big is that?
No. I think the top 5, there's not much separation, as SkRawZ was saying. Like, Series 16, they haven't played long enough with each other. They've essentially really put their foot down in the last 2 weeks. If they played longer, if they played as long as we have, I feel like maybe top 3 would have been a whole lot of different. But at the same time, it's like a lot of people don't have enough time to practice. People have jobs. Yeah. Like even our team, we can't play every day. We play maximum 3 days a week. That's about it. And outside of practicing, I don't play Diabolical because I've got so much to do that it's just impossible to find the time. And I think given the luxury of teams like Team Liquid who can just go down and into that rabbit hole of practicing every fucking day because they're getting paid, that's amazing. And a lot of people will envy them for this for the sake of having time to do that. And if teams get enough time to practice, if there's more money involved, hopefully if there's organizations coming in, then the level of the competition will just increase gradually, event by event. And even between events, I think between this event and the next team event, there's going to be a huge difference between team performance.
Yeah, I guess it's the test tournament series after all. It's quite hard. It's quite easy to forget that it is the very early stages. And I wouldn't be surprised if Season 2 rolls around, there's just different game modes in general, and people like SkRawZ when they get a few more hours under their belt. I mean, funnily enough, I've played TDM pickups with SkRawZ, and he's so good. Like in TDM, you can tell he just feels so comfortable there. Obviously, I pose no threat to him there anyway, but it was just really impressive because I wasn't really aware of who he was actually, and that might be like sacrilege to a lot of people that might be watching this now. But yeah, I was quickly educated, and then I was quickly schooled in game as well, and it was really impressive to watch him play, especially with Abzo on the other team. It was like Abzo versus SkRawZ, and then all these noobs in between, like getting in the way of those two guys. So that was quite funny.
Whoa, you're chatting shit about my boy Blobby.
Blobby is the biggest fucking noob ever. He loves TDM, but he's so bad. He won't thank me for that, but he'll be just happy that we're talking about TDM because it's literally the only game mode he plays. So yeah, there we go. So SkRawZ, will you be looking for to compete in the team events? Because I think there's another one in November, right? Am I wrong there, GMT? You'll know this.
No, you're dead on. Teams for both NA and EU, same as this month basically, but it's double the prize pool.
Oh wow,
15,000.
I'm making a fucking team. Let's go, GMT, undefeated in McGuffin, me and you. I
got a cast with my own gameplay.
Yeah, we'll be out round 1, so you can do the rest. So SkRawZ, will you be? Sounds like you're looking for a team then for that event. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I probably will try to find teammates because at least for a month more, I'm having a lot of free time to play. So I hope that some of the good players and players I know will still be looking for a third. I already asked some of my old friends from Quake Live. Maybe it will work out, maybe it will not, I'm not sure. But other than that, me and my friends from girls' house also plan to just get some practice in, and maybe even if we don't create like a proper team for the tournament, we want to scream and practice. So yeah, I'll for sure will do something towards it. I'm not sure if it will work out or not, but I'll be playing.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. And Phaze, I'm assuming you guys back to the practice board for now. You,
Nope.
Abzo, and Scoochie. No, you having a break or?
Having a break, having a week break. I think it's important to have a break in between games so you don't burn out. So you regain the control, the energy, and then you have the time to put the energy into practicing and VOD reviewing. I think it's important to have that healthy balance between you playing the game, and then after the tournament, stepping away a little bit, looking back at it, like not essentially playing, just taking everything in, thinking of what could have been better, what could have gone wrong, what went wrong, what could have been improved, and is the process that I believe in.
Yeah.
And it works out for me. I'm also very positive that it'll work out for the guys. But I am starting to aim practice in Kovac. Now this might be
Wow.
weird. I was speaking to Sirius about it yesterday. We had like a meeting, and then after the meeting, it was me, I think Sirius, Vedmedic, Yanem, and some other guys talking about aim, and like we spent basically, we were speaking from 11 p.m. until almost 5 a.m. And,
What? Hang on.
Yeah,
6 hours?
6 hours. A
How
long
bad
time.
can your aim be, Phaze? Holy fuck.
It's pretty fucking terrible when it comes to shaft. So I'm a firm believer
Boys.
until this point that aim practice is great in Kovac if you want to correct your basics that you're doing wrong. And I was speaking to Sirius about it, and I have a very specific problem which another player does have. That was in the chat there, and Sirius gave me some scenarios to practice, an hour a day, and I'm already feeling the improvement. I had to switch. One thing I'm gonna say, I had to switch from wrist aiming to arm aiming when it comes to shaft, because my aim would get often shaky because of my wrist pressure. Like I apply a lot of pressure to my wrist, so I'm doing a lot of
all that stress, mate.
yeah. So I'm doing a lot of forearm movement now. I'm trying to force myself to just use my entire arm and never use wrist for shaft aiming. And we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that I can really see the improvements. I'm always a little bit skeptical when it comes to aim trainers. I believe the best aim training is playing the game, but also now that I've spoken to Sirius about it a little bit more, I'm getting the deeper understanding when it comes to that you cannot train certain aspects in the games. You have to do them in Kovac. You have to do them in aim labs. Whatever the program is that you're using to aim to train your aim, you cannot do everything in the game. And those scenarios are really helping me out at the moment.
Well, after just a day, you said you've seen an improvement. So
Yeah, after an hour, like there's 5 scenarios that I'm doing, and after those 5 scenarios, after an hour, I went back to do an old scenario that I was really good at, I thought, and then I improved my score by 1,000. It's
Oh,
like,
shit.
okay, I feel
Is
like
the goal
maybe
to
there's something
beat
to it.
is the goal to beat Scoochie in like Shaft Arena one game
Yes.
and then just go from there? I hope you're eating your
Yeah.
blueberries. I've learned that they're meant to be the secret food that you've got to eat, by the way.
Mm.
Plenty of blueberries. Oh my
They're
god,
good for your
GMT! As if by magic,
A lot
he's
of
got
vitamins.
he's got 2 packs there. Or is that grapes underneath?
We got grapes, we got an apple, we got 4 bananas, we got a pomegranate and a bowl. It's a good day.
Wow, Jesus Christ, very healthy as usual.
I
So
approve it. I approve it.
that's a nod from the doctor. You can't go wrong there. An apple a day, and all of that.
Get your vitamins in.
And I was actually that reminded me, Phaze. Is that do you think that's why you guys may have struggled a little bit in MacGuffin? Because that
No.
can be quite shaft heavy, or is there other reasons for that?
Not at all. It's the team play.
Yeah.
I feel like our MacGuffin games are terrible purely because of not the communication per se, but we don't play as a team in MacGuffin,
No.
and that's the sad reality of it. It's very hard. Like in Extinction, I can kind of like I rely on my guys, but I can solo people out, right? I'm the player that is very heavy control based. I'm a freak when it comes to like TDM and extinction. I like to control the items and be present in the rooms to do enough damage. And if I have to commit, I'll commit. If I see the chance and the chance is higher than like 70-80% for me to win the fight, I'll commit to it. And that's why I like it, and I don't have to rely too much on my teammates. In Wipeout, it's in a way it's similar. You have to play together as you do in MacGuffin. But yeah, MacGuffin is just, for some reason, we just don't click together at the moment. I think it might take a while because Cookie never played Sacrifice in Quick Champions, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys that play in those teams, like Tuzi, Sirius Memphis, Pulse's team, they all play Sacrifice, so they have the experience, they have the prior experience to play that game mode. They know what it requires to do. My guys, maybe not so much, even though Abso did play with Kilson for Euronics Gaming, I think, in Quake Champions 2017. Yeah, I feel there is a lot of gaps to fill in, which is a good thing because we do contest a lot of those good teams, so we're getting better.
Well, at least you know what your weakness is, and maybe this break you can at least have a week off and then come back to it. And a lot of the times I would imagine that you have just a little bit more of a fresher perspective on it. You can go from there. Oh, nice one. It was really impressive to watch 2Z. Again, I didn't really know much about the other two guys. Obviously, I know who Too Good is, but really impressive to watch them play. Actually, they hit like Latromi and Silent Sep hit extremely hard, and it was funny actually hearing James in the self the self interview at the end there. He was saying how literally like Paul's team hit extremely hard as well with Cook and Paul and Hennessy, and how James would literally just be like the meat shield in Wipeout and just try and break up the play. It's amazing that was the sort of strategy. I know he was probably half kidding, but you could see exactly what he meant by that, and they still managed to pull out the win.
He wasn't half kidding.
No, I think that's absolutely what he does.
Yeah, that was absolutely correct. Even in practice, he would be the mincemeat going out first, and we would focus on him, and the guys would focus on us. So it was like, oh yeah, that's what they're doing, and we were like, okay, let's not focus on James. Let's focus Silent Sep.
James just shafting you from the side. You don't even notice.
No, it's just like it goes over you. It's like it does this.
But I mean, do you think they're the sort of team to beat at the moment, 2Z? With SkRawZ coming back in as well, they're probably just going to be better, right?
No, come on, they will. Get your nose out of the man's ass, Phaze. He's not better than SkRawZ. I'm not having it.
You're talking about aim. You're strictly talking about aim. Fuck aim at this point. Like,
I mean,
it's so abusable with people like SkRawZ. Like, yeah, he's a good player, sure, whatever.
I think I know where my Phaze is half conflicted, because I think like when James doesn't stream very often, but it's very apparent when he does stream or like play team mode, he brings like a calmness to the game, right? He's always communicating in a very calm manner. Like you said, he kind of just leads. He's always communicating who's life lead and that kind of thing. Is that kind of what you mean? Like he brings an extra element that maybe we don't know what SkRawZ brings. To be fair, I mean I've never watched his.
SkRawZ brings aim and the pace of the game. Silent Sep is the IGO. With Latromi, they make the calls. SkRawZ follows a lot of it. Whereas James can be he can play many positions and he can do many things well. Where it feels like SkRawZ plays in a very similar way all the time, which can become abusable. So in a way, on paper, yes, they are going to be better with SkRawZ. But SkRawZ brings one aspect to that team. James brought way many more, more aspects, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm just speaking from the experience that we've played versus him. Plus, SkRawZ is not fully dedicating himself to Diabolical at the moment. He plays Apex, so maybe that's also the reason why he plays in a similar manner all the time. But yeah, he played. When we practiced versus him, he played the same way he would play in Sacrifice. Just complete damage output and. That's it.
Well, you have to ask the question then. Team Liquid or 2Z with James?
2Z.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
Okay, your team or Team Liquid?
Phaze is one of these people that wouldn't be afraid just to say him straight away.
Which game mode? If we get an extinction Wipeout...
In a best of 5. In a best of 5.
With the current system,
Yeah.
Maybe us.
I like
Hang
it.
on. Hello, Rafa. Yeah, he just fucking said it. Can you believe that shit? This 22-year-old Polish kid just said he's better than you. Can you believe?
Hey, he's
yeah,
23
I know.
now.
He's 23. Oh, sorry, my bad, Rafa. Yeah, he's better. Wow.
No, but also you
Hot
gotta,
take, kid.
you gotta also look from the perspective that, again, as I mentioned before, they have so much time to practice.
Yeah, of course.
No other team can practice as much as they do. If they carry on practicing, every day for 5, 6, 7 hours, I don't think many EU teams will be able to beat them. Like, we won't be able to beat them if we put only 3 days a week. They put 5, 6 days a week, and they're very like the way they analyze games. They're so good at just doing consistent performance that people will struggle against that. But at the same time, give people the same amount of time, give people the same amount of fucking salary. I don't think there would be a question that EU would be dominating over Team Liquid.
Why does COVID have to ruin everything? Because we just need a LAN, don't we, to settle this? But it is fun in the meantime just to speculate on who would beat who. I'm sure
But
Australia
again,
will start messaging me in a minute, trying to get in there.
As you said, it's all speculation. Ultimately, we won't know until people play.
Yeah, it was
together.
fun to talk about though. I like
it's fun.
dream matches, I like that.
But I would say team like Liv, Bus Driver, and Juvenile Ohran, those guys would be Team Liquid right now. I think.
Wow.
I think that the amount of synergy that those guys have, not only just being friends, but being extremely good, talented, mechanical players and being super smart about it. Like, I don't think people give them enough credit how smart that team is.
Well, on paper,
I
I
think that they will challenge them.
I thought Animal Squad would be in the final. To be quite honest, just looking at
I
them on
liked
paper.
Animal Squad.
When I turned on the stream, I turned it on a bit late, and I think you guys played Animal Squad. I was like, oh, this is a lovely match just to wake up and watch. Is Phaze and Abzo's team versus Animal Squad. So that was good fun.
No, it was a fun match. We were struggling a bit. That's what I was saying. We were worried that we would lose against them because we have been losing in practice, but we pulled it through and we did it. Unfortunately, they didn't make through due to Pulse's team just getting that slight edge over them. But it is what it is. Teams get better, teams get worse, and ultimately everybody is a friend of each other. There's no hard feelings. People, you just congratulate people that beat you because they're the better team, and that's it. You move on. You get better together.
And it's not long to wait till the next event anyway, right? So we can put all this to the test, right? We can see if 2Z can retain. Do you last little bit on the team stuff? Do you predict there'll be any
reshuffles?
Yeah. How did you know I was going to ask that?
Everybody asked that shit. Not as much as NA. NA had some instances where the reshuffle wasn't a decision just because somebody wants to play with somebody else. It was more to do with, for example, Vedmetic, he wants to focus on school, right? And I think he's doing his PhD. So he has to put a lot more time towards that. So there will be reshuffles due to certain circumstances. Whereas EU, I don't think there's going to be any shuffles at the moment whatsoever.
I quite like that if it was just all the same lineups and we can just get another stab at it and see how it all plays out this time round.
Phaze, aside from Noctis and Wins, are there any people that haven't played that you think might in the future that are going to be really good?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay.
I think everybody that is currently playing in team modes, I don't think there's going to be any old school players coming back. I think that's it. I think at the moment that's it. If maybe there's going to be some new blood that somehow just skyrockets, and gets really good at the game, maybe, but not really. So I would say like the one player to really look out for is two actually, Bus Driver and Liv. Those guys can really shake it up if they put enough time into it. 100%.
Well, that's interesting though. So they were going to play with Hron, ended up playing with Juvenile, right?
Yeah, Hron had the same thing with Apex as SkRawZ.
Right. Is Hron going to come back and replace Juve, or?
I don't know. I feel like at the moment, given how much time Hron spends on Apex, when we played versus them with Hron and when we played versus them with Juvenile, they played better with Juvenile.
Fair play.
Very interesting indeed. SkRawZ, let's talk about the girls' house because I've been helping cast some of these events. Obviously, you guys were granted the some of the grassroots initiative thing, I believe. So yeah, we've had two sort of casual wipeout events, and I think they went pretty well, right? I had a lot of fun casting them, and there's some fucking great players, right? Apart from Chomper, I'll never admit that she's good, but yeah, that's been a lot of fun. Have you been how have you been finding running and organising that? Apart from tiring.
Well, it took us quite a long while to organize everything because none of us had any good experience at organizing tournaments before.
What's Phaze doing with
So
his camera? Yeah, go on, carry on.
My Discord just broke.
Unbelievable. Look, I've got to do extra admin work now.
Heaven forbid Jake have to do anything.
I know. Sorry, SkRawZ, you carry on. So yeah, you haven't had much experience in running the tournaments, but that doesn't
Yes,
come across at all. You guys seem very organised.
yeah, because we took at least like 2 or 3 months beforehand to talk about everything because we had to like organize everything from a scratch. We didn't know what kind of tournaments we want to do. Like at first, the idea was to create a female league, like it was supposed to be in the main tournaments. It was supposed to be a league kinda, but then we realized that there's more to that in female community. It's very different from like male community, let's call it like that. A lot of the players, it's not even that they lack skill because they don't, but they just have no experience in any kind of competition. And it's not even weird because I don't remember last time when AFPS game had a female tournament. It was probably in Quake 3.
Wow.
So it's been a long while. Nobody really had an opportunity to compete. And some people say that, well, why don't girls compete in the main tournaments? Well, some of them do, but most of them just don't know how it works, and they were kind of discouraged to even try. I've been talking to a lot of girls in private when we were organizing the tournaments, and they just have literally no experience and they don't know how to bite it. And some of them really have a competitive soul. They would like to compete, but they just didn't have any opportunity before. It's also like extremely hard for a girl to get on a regular team. And I also have such experiences because um
Fucking
because
Enze replacing you.
I know, let's don't talk about that. But it's just a very specific community. We had to organize everything to make sure that some of the girls don't feel the pressure to even try it. That's why we created Girls' Nights. Girls' Nights is the like casual part of our initiative. We wanted to give prizes for that, but we didn't even like want to give money, like strictly money, because we feel like even this applies some kind of pressure, like when the money is on the line. So we decided to give out Twitch subs, which is like more casual way of rewarding people. And slowly, step by step, with help of Girls' Nights, we managed to discover players that want to be more competitive. And there were plays for FDI comps. FDI is like Female Diabotical Invitational. It will be a series of tournaments where money will be on the line. First one will take place on 7th November. So thanks to girls playing in Girls' Nights being more encouraged, we were able to like filter them out and invite the players that would like to take part in something more competitive. And that's what we want to do. We want to show girls that they can do it as well. And this is like our main idea. We want to create like a friendly community for them to just get more involved with the game, with like FPS games, to show them that it's not really scary to compete, that there doesn't have to be a lot of pressure applied on them. So this is like our main goal, and we will follow it.
Yeah, the two things that struck me the most about helping out with you guys doing these events is one, that there's a lot of players that just come from other games that are naturally interested in Diabotical, but you might not have even sort of heard of them. So we've got like a couple of Unreal Tournament players, for example. There's a player who literally her main game was Unreal Tournament for years and years, and obviously Unreal Tournament's kind of dead now, right? So she naturally was playing Diabotical. So it was good that she was in the Discord for the girls event and was playing in both nights, and she seems to have really enjoyed it. So she's a naturally competitive person to play this sort of game. I think there's also some TF2 players, right? Some Team Fortress 2 players that are coming in. I know the streamer Codexa is a former Team Fortress 2 player, and she absolutely destroyed in the last event, so I'd be looking forward to seeing her play in the more competitive modes if she feels up to it. And the second thing that struck me is just like, it's just a really good way of you guys being able to like help these players find other players that are like-minded as well. You made the teams, and like half the people didn't know the other people, and everyone seems to get along great and just make new friends, right? And that's great for someone like me who's come into the AFPS scene super late. I didn't know any of you, I didn't know any of you guys 3 months ago. And it's just good to make friends in such a small community. And I think it's important that, we all stick together.
3 months later, I wake up to a text from you every morning saying, "Good morning, beautiful."
Exactly.
It's a real journey we've been on.
I have to roll over so my girlfriend doesn't see who I'm messaging. Yeah. It's just GMT. Don't worry about that.
Here's this side hoe. Oh, just GMT.
Yeah. I haven't showed her a picture of you yet, GMT, because she might get a bit jealous with those long locks of yours. But I think the gameplay aside, that's what really struck me about the thing that you and Ash and Sonia and Via are all doing is it's just actually the Discord that you guys have created is a super friendly place, and I think trying to bridge the barrier of feeling naturally discouraged is slowly being broken down by what you guys are doing. So it's been really good.
Well, I have a question. It might be a little bit putting you on spot, but I'm always curious because there's a lot of communities that are fucking completely immature when it comes to girls playing games for whatever reason. And I was wondering, have you guys encountered that in Diabotical so far, or has the community been completely nice to you and you had no issues with that whatsoever?
I personally haven't encountered such thing yet. Maybe it's because I just know a lot of players that play Diabotical. I come from Quake, so I naturally just know so many of them. I didn't have any like bad situation. But I know what you're talking about. There are like also this is like one of the reasons we're doing it, because I personally also want to compete in the like main events. Like I don't have a problem with competing with men. Like I don't feel worse than them, and I'm like pretty courageous about it. But I know that many girls have met really, really rude, stereotypical people in the past.
Yeah.
And that's what we're also trying to fight. And the fun thing is that most of the guys that try to shit on girls in games are not even good at the games.
That's true. That's so true.
It's true. They just, I don't know, maybe they're like somehow scared insecure that someone will steal their spotlight because a girl will be playing better than them. Maybe this is the reason, I don't know. But this is for sure like one of the reasons we are doing it, to like introduce more girls into esports, to show them that it's not scary, that you can do it, you're not worse than those trash talking idiots. And this is like also like my personal goal.
That's amazing.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you'll be a good a good leader in that direction, right? Because it's in any movement, whether it's big or small, when you're a group of underdogs, you need to look to those strong kind of leader types to lead the way. And I think you're definitely a good example of that. This is obviously one of the reasons why you I would say you're kind of the face of the Girls House initiative. I know we do a lot of the casting for the two events. And that's why we brought you on here as well, is because I think it's definitely important, and I think just representation in general for any sort of niche is super important. So Yes, it's great to hear. And you're right. A lot of those guys are fucking shit at the game. Fuck you.
Yeah,
all
let's
right.
be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Exactly.
And now the question is, in your opinion, who is the best female Diabolical player right now, apart from yourself?
Apart from myself.
Hmm. And what region?
If you're about to
Like
say
what
Lady
region
D,
is
I'm,
the most? Yeah,
you-
what region is like the most dominant
if
as
you're
well?
about to say Lady D, I'm shutting off the stream because she scares me.
Yeah, well, in EU, apart from me, it would be Lady D. And in NA, it would be Champa. She puts a lot of time into practice. She's playing the tournaments, and I think she might be the best one. There is also Festive Turtle, but
Mhm.
I know she was very good in Quake Champions, but I have no idea how she plays in Diabotical, so it's just hard to say. But I would
Okay.
put them both like on top spot.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've
sir.
got to say, yeah, Chomper is in these wipeout events. She really does stand out. Her movement is second to none, and I know she obviously scrims with her team quite a lot on her stream. So, yeah, I'm going to assume she will be participating also in the main events with her team come November. I assume NA also have theirs in November.
Yeah, that's for sure. She's practicing, and they
Um,
even play like some side tournaments together. So I'm sure she will compete.
Yeah, super good, and she'll be definitely one of the ones to look out for come the FDI tournaments as well. I'm sure she'll be very strong.
Yeah, we'll have like a few strong teams. For now, the teams are still forming, but we have at least 3 teams formed already, and I find the players really good.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. Nice, it's exciting. And are you going to be looking to do different modes going in the future? So obviously this first one is kind of the first real money event. Obviously you did a vote I saw, and 2v2 Arena came up as the winner. Are you looking to maybe do something with Duel or with like MacGuffin and that kind of thing in the future as well?
Well, for first FDIs, we chose like small modes like 2v2 or duel. We had a vote going on, so girls voted for 2v2 aim arena, and it's strictly because I don't think the girls would be able to form bigger teams right now. First of all, our player base is pretty small, and second of all, they just don't know each other yet, and they have sometimes difficulties reaching out to other girls to practice because it's something new for them. So we are waiting for the point when everyone will feel free to do so, and maybe then we could try to create something with bigger team sizes. But for now, it will be 2v2s or 1v1s. So, but it's strictly because of organizational reasons.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, player base is small in general, let alone a female-only league as well. So that's understandable. Yeah, it's been really exciting. I'm really sad I can't cast the the invitational, but
Yeah, I'm
we'll.
disappointed.
I know.
I wanted you to cast my games, so.
Well,
Not.
We stole them away from
Shame
you.
on you.
Yeah, you guys, so rude.
listen, I was told that TimCon thing was going to be on the Friday. If it was on the Friday, I could have definitely done both.
To be fair, I was also told the Friday.
You yeah. It's Mojo's fault, isn't it? Can we just
It is
agree on that?
Mojo's fault.
Yeah. God damn it, Mojo.
I have another question, if you don't mind me asking, which I think it's going to be quite interesting for people in the chat as well. I'm always curious about players and their peripherals and why they use them. So I'm gonna ask you, SkRawZ, what do you use apart from the fancy, flashy Razer headset? This is not sponsored. What other peripherals do you use and why?
Other headsets are available.
Well, yeah, the headset is just because it's pretty, of course. But my other peripherals are my mouse. It's Cooler Master MM710. It's small and very light, and it's because of my hand size strictly.
Yeah.
Because I have tiny hands, and I need a tiny mouse because otherwise it's just uncomfortable for me.
Me too.
Yeah, and other than that, I'm using a Myonix desk pad as my mouse pad, but it's only because my Artisan Shidenkai got worn out. So I just replaced it with something cheaper and that I could just order quickly, and I just stick to it for now. It's not that bad. But I'd prefer to have Artisan Shidenkai again because it was like the best mousepad I've had. And my keyboard is
Ducky?
Mini.
Oh yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, I just
GMT
really love. I just really love how it looks like and the materials it's made from. So yeah.
I don't even know what these words are that they're saying. What's a ducky?
Okay,
I'll tell you
it's,
later,
It's a
mate, don't
brand.
worry.
Now what switches?
These are black ones.
Okay, gotcha.
I'll send
Well,
you
there
an
you go.
infographic later, Jake.
I'm still using a ball mouse.
Yeah,
No, it's
education,
very
please.
it's very interesting to hear what people use and the reasons why they use it. I feel like a lot of people have the misconception of a lot of pro players, using top of the line. Use whatever they like, and it's all down to the preference. So it's always interesting to see what people actually use in tournaments and are not sponsored to say, I use Logitech or I use Razer because they're being told to do so, and they don't actually use those products most of the time anyway.
It was a really funny thing in StarCraft 2 where everyone loved the Zoe Miko and the Logitech G9X so much, but back then it was basically only SteelSeries and Razer doing sponsorships, so they just had to not talk about their mouse, and all of their Twitch bios would lie. It was great.
Yeah, no sponsors here just yet. So the shilling can wait for now until I get sponsored by Logitech, and then everyone on the show will be a Logitech customer, weirdly. Funnily enough, I do actually use Logitech stuff, but I'm no expert. I don't even know how to change. I don't even know what the difference between the switches are. So
That's all right.
I'm going to just stop
You're old,
talking
mate.
before I reveal how fucking noob I am. GMT,
Wagwan.
what did you cast yesterday? All day.
TimCon Monthly #2.
Hell yes. Let's talk about that. That was a dual cup.
Let's,
2-1.
yeah, there's a couple of decent stories. Who won? Who was it? It was what's his name?
Underdog, isn't he? Like unknown.
Yeah. I think it's again.
I think it's like Agun.
Jake Kazor,
Yeah.
of course.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Agent 1, Agent's ridiculous. He can't lose. I don't know why he can't lose, but he just refuses. Seems like he's made some sort of deal with the devil. I would love to count actually how many dual tournament wins he has now. I think he's got to be on like a streak of 15 or so.
Well, has he lost? Has he won every one that he's entered?
Yes.
To our knowledge,
he's never lost a dual tournament he's entered.
And despite how Diabotical's infancy, there's been quite a lot, right? There's been actually quite a lot of events.
Actually, hold on. There might be a tournament that he didn't actually come top 1.
You think?
I don't think so, mate.
Yeah.
No. I think so. I think the one with Cypher and the very first dual tournament that we all played.
Duke. Oh, the first Duke one.
Yeah, the first Duke where me and Cypher qualified for it. I don't think Agent even made it through. I don't know if he played, but it was me, Agent, and Buckster that qualified out of 200 something players, and they were all mainly from Russia as well.
Oh, right, the main event.
Well, the one
Cypher won over Necrophagus.
Yeah.
That was in like the beta, right? That was
close beta
before I even played the game.
No, the only problem is I can't actually find
the qualifiers.
No, I can't find. No, I have the qualifier, but he's not in it.
Oh, so
I don't
he
think
hasn't
Agent played.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he hasn't played.
So he hasn't lost.
Oh, you can retain the cool title of 100% then. Because didn't
he's
he
won every TimCon one he's entered as well. So he's like won TimCon Royale, he won our EU tourney, he won the Factory LAN, he won TimCon Monthly 1 and 2. I'll see light.
I almost put him in the lower bracket.
Yeah, almost.
Did Cypher put him in the lower bracket in one of those events, and then you just beat him in the final?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Juked NA #2.
EU #2.
That was a good cast, that. Me and Jahar. The good old days.
But yeah, I mean, let's talk about the finalists as well, because we had that guy from Russia, Is it Distant Light?
Distant Light. Who is it?
Does anyone know who the hell he is? His name's Malcolm.
Someone said it was an old Quake 3 player that went by the alias Malcolm, but
we just
people
run
are
with
pretty
that.
Dubious. I think the leading theory at the moment is that it's Cyber. What do you make of that, Phaze?
Next question.
All right. I do have Tim, the Tim behind Tim Conlan. He is currently watching the VODs back, and he watches a tremendous amount of duels. So apparently, he should know, like by the movements. If it's
Oh,
cyber or
no
not.
way.
Yeah, it's
No,
like this happened in
the mouse
StarCraft
movement
2.
is very specific
Yeah.
of the player.
But I tell you, this is also important to know about this tournament. Is Carvik didn't quite show up.
Oh, he showed up, but he showed up by killing himself over and over on Skybreak to get to map 3 against Distant Light, I think, wasn't it?
Yep.
That was very bizarre. If anyone hasn't seen that, Carwick, it was in one of the winners bracket rounds, I think. Actually, while I'm chatting, GMT, you probably got it there already. Bring up all the matches that Distant Light played, because he had a hellacious run, right? He beat so many big names.
It was honestly horrible.
But yeah, Carwick in map 2, I think it was Skybreak. I think Carwick took map 1. Skybreak was this Distant Light guy's map pick, and Carwick literally just started suiciding halfway through the map because he was like 5 kills down just to get it over with. It was fucking insane, dude.
I'll give you the run. So Distant Light was improperly seeded because we didn't know who he was. But he 2-1s Pavel. He 2-1s Lupin. He 2-1s Carvik. He gets 2-0'd by Buxter and drops to the losers bracket where he beats Inzinsins, and then Carvik again, and then Buxter 2-0, and then loses 3-0 to Agent, because Agent is the God King Emperor of the world.
He was looking so good, and then Agent just made him look like me.
Ordinary.
I think the pinnacle of the tournament was the theme that we all played while Agent was just dominating. It was yeah.
God bless you, Soviet Union.
Yeah, you played the Soviet theme tune while watching. That was
so good.
I don't know what that was. I don't know what sort of taste that is, good or bad. But I'll be honest, I did play it as well, just to experience what you were laughing about. But what do we? I don't even know what to say about Agent anymore.
I'm gonna put it on now.
I think Agent is as it is. He's getting enough spotlight. So like he's been pretty much winning every single tournament. Everybody knows he is.
He's a freak
in Europe. So yeah. It's Agent. Agent things happen. So he won another tournament. You know, surprise, surprise. But let's talk about our guest SkRawZ. SkRawZ, what are your plans for the next for this year and 2021 with the girls squad?
SkRawZ needs to learn the duel maps and start dueling. By the way, SkRawZ, because
please don't make me do that.
I enjoy watching your Quake Champions duels for what it's worth. I think you need to start dueling in this game as well.
Well, I had plans to do so, but somehow it died out. I just wanted to focus on teams, and I wanted to focus on Girls' House because it kind of devours a lot of my time. But maybe in the future. So what are our plans? Well, we got $5,000 from the Grassroots initiative. So till the end of the year, we will be hosting Girls' Nights twice a month, and once a month it will be invitational tournament.
And what days do you host those?
Excuse me?
What days do you host those?
It's like every 2 weeks a tournament. So
She's on a Saturday, right?
FDI.
She's usually on a Saturday evening for EU time.
Yeah. It's usually like the same time because we wanted to pick a time that will be suitable for both NA and EU players because we need to mix them together. We don't have enough of players to create separate tournaments for NA and for EU, so we just have to like mix them up. Next one will be first invitational on 7th of November, and like 3 weeks after that there will be another casual one. 2 more actually, and then at the end of November or at the beginning of December there will be second invitational. And what we want to do is we want to see how good we are at organizing things. And we want to expand our initiative on maybe another games, for example on Valorant, because their scene also lacks female tournaments. There were a few in America, but in Europe there was only one, if I'm correct. So we would like to spread our ideas on another games and maybe help other communities like have something to play, you know. But for that we will need to reach out to some kind of sponsors, and yeah, we are working on that. So I think that it will be our goal for next year, or at least for next few months.
And do you feel like the entire initiative, the girls' house, do you feel like this could be taken as far as to LAN, to either come together with Diabolical LAN and have it alongside of it, or would it have its own LAN initiative? How do you feel like that would work out if you guys go that way?
Actually, Vea knows personally a guy that is a creator of Gamer Girl Festival. It's they already had their LANs hosted. One was in Dubai, I believe.
Oh wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Gamer Girl LAN that hosts a lot of different games, I believe. So we have a contact with this guy, maybe, and he's really open about new games. So maybe in the future, when the pandemics is over, maybe we could try to cooperate with him and bring our initiative to LAN. Hopefully with Diabolical, of course, maybe with other games at that point of time already. But we definitely would like to do something more. Actually, at the very beginning, when we were talking with James about it, he even maybe not strictly invited us, but he offered that we could make our tournament during the proper Diabolical LAN. But yeah, then the pandemics happened and we are just not thinking about it right now. But
No, of
we
course.
for sure would like to have more things done.
Yeah, it would be cool to have it alongside the a theoretical, actual Diabolical LAN. It'd be quite cool to have them both run alongside. I think that'd be really neat to see.
Really exciting.
Just to have everyone in there together.
It will come soon, hopefully.
I was just reading chat. Obviously, it is fucking such a shame. I know we say this every week that we can't just have LANs or even just a small LAN to tune in and watch, because online tournaments are great and everything, but they're just not quite the same. You miss some of the atmosphere and stuff. What is my cat doing?
He's trying to be start of the show.
I think he is. Yeah, he's actually about to sit on my mouse.
You got two cats. You got SkRawZ and the cat there.
He's over there.
Oh, in the distance.
Yeah, he's laying on the heater right now. So just cat things.
My one's trying to show.
What's the name of the cat?
Dr. Freud.
Dr. Freud. That sounds like he's from some kind of ancient book.
Dr. Freud.
Dr. Freud.
Love it. GMT, what's coming up next for you, young man? Do you even know anymore? Can you even keep track of all this stuff?
No. I think I have a weekend off. I think.
You kidding?
I don't think there's anything next weekend. I mean, maybe the Aussies will give me a call at 5 a.m, but apart from that, no. Week after that, TimCon Mega on the 7th. That will also be NA quals for other people to watch, and so we'll probably do NA quals on the Sunday, but not the Saturday. And then, back to NA teams, EU team quals, EU teams. That's about it, really. The TimCon Mega, though, the big thing at the moment. $1,500 from the Good Studio. That's November 7th. EU Duel. Get Cracked are also getting an event themselves, I believe, on the 24th of November. Same prize money, but for NA. So yeah, that's what's going on in terms of tournaments. There's probably things I'm missing, but I'm not involved if I am.
You're slowly fading away as well. Your camera's more pixelated.
She's just getting more pixelated.
Just dissolves into the atmosphere.
Oh my god. Wait, hold on.
You can see your nice clean-shaven face now, Phaze. You can see that you've used moisturizer. You're very smooth indeed. That's it.
All right. I know my skin's bad, Jake, but you don't have to rub it in.
No, it's just the camera quality, I thought. I wouldn't even zoom into my face. It'd be horrendous. Cool. So,
what is this fucking shit gonna unzoom?
That's just your life now, mate.
That's what you
just
get.
It.
That's what you get for having an expensive camera, mate. So you don't get any of that with my little webcam. Just
wait, I'll switch to my cheap one. It's fine.
What's going on here?
There we fucking go.
So, Phaze, it sounds like you guys are taking a break. Are you going to start losing your mind on stream playing duels for the time being, or what? What's going on there?
No.
No.
I think I'll be, if I'm going to be streaming anything, it will be probably Wipeout. I might start streaming some scrims. We'll have to see about that. So maybe you'll be getting your first European team with proper comms scrims.
I would
Obviously,
very much enjoy that.
Paul's is streaming as well, but he doesn't use comms. Maybe we'll use comms. We'll have to look at that, and if teams agree to have their games streamed, because you got to respect the other teams and whether they want you to stream their games or not. So it's all down to them. I'm fine with it. I don't care that much. So you might see that happen. Otherwise, yeah, a little bit of wipeout, a little bit of duel from here and there, raging at some people, raging at the plus forward stuff.
Yeah,
The
but
usual.
Phaze, with your new routine now, your LG is going to get a lot better. Therefore, you might.
Dude,
not
I'm
get
gonna be
rushed.
hitting 100%. I'm gonna be getting 100% shaft, and I'll still be getting pushed with rockets.
No. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I have faith.
Bullshit.
And SkRawZ, what are your plans in the near future? It sounds like you want to potentially look at getting on a team for the team stuff. But are you going to be streaming more or putting more hours into Diabotical, or what's going on?
Well, to be honest, I really enjoy streaming. Like, it's the time of the day I actually feel like talking to people, so it's really good for my mental health as well, I think. So probably I will try to stream consistently. I already kind of started, but it's not that consistent yet. I actually am signed up for a duel league in Quake Champions, but I'm not really doing anything towards practicing for that for now. And for Diabotical, I think I'll just try to grind a little bit more. I just felt really demotivated after I couldn't participate in these qualifiers.
Ends.
It's not his fault.
I'm gonna put all the fault on Ins. I'm gonna blame him for everything, even for
I'm
his
not
burger
defending
addiction.
him, but yeah, I'm not defending him, but yeah. So
No, I know. I'm joking around.
Yeah, I was pretty demotivated, but right now I'm trying to get back on my track. I want to play a lot. It's like my main goal because I believe in self-development quite a lot. So that's what I'm going to focus on. Yeah, I want to keep getting better and better, and then maybe time will bring me some opportunities to create a team and
Dominate.
Yeah, and dominate. Like, make this effort I'm putting into games more real in some way.
Well, it's definitely like kind of wide open, right? I think there's no better time to jump in than at the start of any sort of esports type game. So whether you're going to make an all-female team or mix it up with other players, I have no doubt that I think most people that are at least at least decent at the game have a good shot at taking some games off of any team right now,
Especially if you're an A. What?
At Phaze OG for any hate messages, that'd be great. On Twitter, I'm sure Phaze will have a good afternoon answering those. I don't want to miss anyone out, SkRawZ, but did you want to give out a shout out to your other admins that help you with the Girls' House stuff? I know Sonia does a hell of a lot of stuff behind the scenes. She might not want to take the plaudits in public, but did you want to give them a shout out?
Yes, of course. Like, I'm working with 3 other girls mostly. It's Vea. It's my friend from Poland. She's a really creative head of our project. Let's call it like that.
And she's taller than Def.
She's taller than Def, and she's a model. She's really slim and so on. But I bet she can outdrink every single one of you.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Ask Avek, please. Ask Avek. He knows something about that. So yeah, she's like the creative soul in our team. Then there comes Sonia. She's taking care of the scoreboards, rules, and a few more things besides of that. She's kind of focusing on her Valorant career right now. She's playing a lot of Valorant. I think she created a new whole girls team with other players, but she's still like very present and she's helping us. And then there is Ashley, of course. She's like the experienced one if it's about sponsorships, about organizations, and she's also like experienced in life.
She's a
she
boss
knows,
lady.
she just knows things.
Yeah,
So
don't fuck with her.
yeah,
I
that-
feel
no.
like if you have any question, whether it's related to games or just in life, Ash is like the go-to for a lot of the players in the tournament and stuff. She's literally there, just always answers my questions if I have any. Yeah, super handy to have around.
Yeah, I just feel that our team is really well made. Every single one of us has some kind of qualities that
Yeah.
we are able to show, to work on, and yeah, it's really great.
Amazing. Yeah, it's been really fun working with you guys, and I hope, despite I can't cast the next invitational, I do hope that you will have me back to help out in future things, unless whoever replaces me does a much better job, which is possible. Definitely possible. But yeah, if anyone's got anything else, or has chat got any questions for anyone on the show, type them right now. If not, we're gonna literally host someone and get the fuck out of here. If anyone's got anything they want to say. Anything from you, Joel? You made a weird noise. We're not talking about super weapons.
Okay. Host that guy. If it comes to
Super weapons.
super
All
weapons.
all I can say is
no,
pen goes pew
No.
pew. Or pen goes brr.
no, we're not doing this.
Skr.
Cool. If that's it then, guys, thank you very much for watching. I am going to stop being lazy and figure out how to get this on a podcast app soon. Stop shouting at me, but it's going to happen. Cool. We're going to host I'm Jeff. So there we
Yeah,
go.
Filipino guy called Martin, and he shows up in my chat every single time I stream. He's an absolute legend.
Oh, that's nice. Cool. We'll rate him.
No.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
How did you like it?
Was really nice.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really sweet. I just hear
I could
Jeff's
educate
expression.
myself
Holy
on
shit,
Diabotical Esports because I wasn't really following it since I
Nah.
wasn't playing it. So
Well, it was on while we were doing the thing, so yeah, I didn't. I thought I'd just throw you a question. Oh, this guy's losing his mind, Joel. Have you heard him?
No, mate. It's cracking, lad.
No, but it's good to have girls initiative happening right now because that's really the one thing that is missing from esports. Like I remember my friends, there was a Swedish organization for the girls in CS, and they were doing really well. They were getting some support from the Swedes and DreamHacks. But I'm not sure what's happening with it right now. So it's good to have Arena FPS, getting girls on board and actually helping you guys out with it. And I think it's probably one of the